It's Johnny. Did you learn anything losing your 10th account on TikTok? Yes, man, I'm learning every day. What I should have done is said, Dear Donald Trump, Iran's not going to win this war. Did Iran have anything to do with Epstein, the island, or any part of the financing of it? Does Iran control Hollywood? Does it control our record labels? Does it control the prison system? Does it control our court system? Do they pay our politicians $1 million? Every politician gets money from... Did Iran do that? Does Iran own all of our channels, all the media that stood against you during your re-election? Was that Iran? Who are these elite? Are they elite Iranians that control all of our news and media and journalists? They're gone. They're all actors. They all have producers, and they're trying to produce the propaganda agenda. Is that Iran, President Trump? Because I think TikTok would allow me to attack Trump. And if you can use it without asking questions of Israel, no questions allowed, Israel's always the victim. Let's talk about Iran then. Dear President Trump, did Iran come up with the term compounding interest? Dear President Trump, all the workers in the United States that are working tirelessly and then working overtime and spending every day they have working instead of raising a family and enjoying the one life that they have, they're working. Does all that taxation go to pay the interest of who we owe? Who do we owe? Who does the United States owe trillions and trillions and trillions of national debt money to? Is it Iran? It's the other guy? Oh, did Iran finance slavery throughout millennia? They didn't just finance the people. They didn't just finance the fleets of ships and the sails in every different city. No, they didn't just finance all the plantations. It was worldwide economy. Was that Iran? How many nukes does Iran have? None. Versus the other people that has the number one defensive weapons in the world and the offensive weapons in the world. Our histories. Are we allowed to talk about the countries that stood up to Iran? Yes. What about the other guys? They're the victims. I understand. No questions allowed. I understand. I'm just asking about Iran. Iran's the last Persian Empire. And they don't have nuclear weapons. And they're standing up to the world bankers and the elites while your ass goes to work. And you're not allowed to ask any questions. I am so ashamed of President Trump. I'm ashamed. Americans wrap everything up in their religious beliefs. Who writes all that, man? Who's been controlled? Who thinks they're a higher class of people? Is it Iranians? Who thinks they're the chosen people? Is it Iran? Yeah, Johnny, you're learning. You're learning. It's how you ask your questions. You're allowed to say anything bad about Donald Trump you want. You're allowed to say anything bad about Iran that you want. You're not allowed to ask any questions about Israel, the Jewish people, their history, or their religion. And the top of their religion, the Zionist. No questions allowed. So it's how you approach your questions. Everything on TV is propaganda right now today. Everything you see is in support of a certain country that has been detrimental to everybody in the world. They think they're higher than us. So when you go to work on the tax plantation and you have to pay compounding interest in things that you'll never own, you'll never own your home. You get a piece of paper that says deed, and they put the court systems above you. Anything you own as far as your property, personal property like a vehicle, they put a title, a piece of paper above you. You understand? And then they put courts. The courts are eating up Americans, especially black Americans. White Americans, you're right behind them. Native Americans, you've been used and abused and thrown away like yesterday's news. If we can't get the histories, we can never get the truth. And if the truth's being hidden, then we don't learn about the genocide and how every American citizen is a conquered people. Nobody's better. Nobody's worse. Some cultures stick together a little better. Some cultures work together. Asians are dominating. It's fascinating. And they just hang out in the outskirts. And they just hire their own people and they can make money and they're just living an amazing life. Props. Everything else is influenced. It's racism, LGBTQ. They can throw all kinds of names at you, man. Nobody's winning. It's all detrimental to us. Why? Who controls liberalism? Is that Iran? Fuck, man. The worst thing we can have is Americans that can't think. And that's why they did it to our education system. Was that Iran? Did Iran infiltrate? Do they do all the publishing? Do they do all the banking? Do they do all the insurance? Insurance doesn't pay out 30% of the time. And the 70% of the time they do pay out, it's a negotiated settlement. But we're going to have laws that you have to have. You have to buy it. Not just for your cars, but for your homes too. That never-ending house payment. I'm ashamed of you, President Trump, and I'm your biggest fan. Iran's not winning a war. There should be no wars. Now you see who's back in Iran? Russia, China, North Korea. Hold on a minute. They're all standing against the world banking institution and the elites. And the United States can't. Because what are the 3 stars on our nation's capital? Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, that's not a state. So it doesn't abide in the same realm of laws. That's why they loophole everything. Donald Trump, I expected you to fight the corrupt media, not join them. I'm Johnny. What do you think, America?